Happy day 9. Thank you so much for being here. We are going another bodyweight day. We are sticking with our intervals, and it is December 31st, 2020 for me today, and for you if you are working out in sync with me. So I'm excited to wrap up the year, wrap up good old 2020. It was full of lessons and um, things unexpected, and I hope that most of you and most of us are just stronger and more appreciative of the small things and more resilient and ready for 2021. So let's go ahead and stand at the back of the mat, hinge over those legs, take a couple deep breaths here, pedal your feet if you'd like, or your knees, I guess. Let one knee bend and then the other. So as I said, we're going to be on a timer. We're going to be going through core and then a heart rate interval. So some things you'll need to adjust, and that's totally fine as always. Jump your feet a little bit wider and then hinge side to side. Right leg and then left. I've definitely been feeling the work that we've been putting out this week. I hope that you are too. I hope that you're staying consistent with me. I know it's a crazy and busy time of year, but giving back to yourself and staying consistent and holding on to the habit is awesome. So I hope that you are. Walk your hands out and take your feet to the back of the mat. Press into those hands. If you need to hit a child's pose with your knees on the ground first, go for it. Otherwise, just drive one heel down. Let the other leg bend. Take some deep breaths and then switch to the other side. So check in with your neck, your shoulders, your triceps, your core. Keep driving those hips up and back. Drop one heel and then the other. And then push both heels onto the ground. Bend your knees a lot. You might need to back your hands up a little bit, trying to get your chest really close to those thighs. I can't even get mine super duper close, but as much as you can. Use the flexion of the back to drive the hands into the ground to then push that chest into the thighs, and then straighten your legs. And then again, bend back, bend those knees a lot, and then straighten. All right, let's go ahead and come down to the mat. Plant onto your hands and knees and let your hips shift left and right. Over to the left, over to the right. Just get some stretch through that low back. So our first round, we're going to hit 30 seconds of a front plank, and then we're going to go into a squat thrust. So both of those exercises may or may not work very well for you. So if the plank to squat thrust isn't going to work, instead of a plank, you're going to hit a dead bug. And let's actually all go there right now. So this will be part of our warm-up as well. Lie on your back. Hug those knees into the chest first. Kind of set in. Make sure those hip flexors are good. Low back is good. Okay, and then take your knees so they're right on top of the hips, and then check out your shins. Your shins should be parallel to the ground with the toes pulled back and your legs flexed, right? So they should be lit, as well as the arms. And then you're going to extend opposite arm and leg while keeping your low back super pressed into the ground. And then you're going to pull it back. So there's that dead bug. And then whenever we transition into side planks, you will just come back to your dead bug and keep that going. All right, your squat thrust is a jumping plank, basically, no push-ups. So burpee, no push-ups. So you jump back, jump in, jump up. If that doesn't work, then I'm actually going to have you do that down dog hinge that we did a second ago in our warm-up. So if it works for you, plant your hands, slide your hips back, and then push up. Slide back, push up. So this is just going to push a little bit of tension into that upper back. It's going to keep those legs going and the core going. So this is what I would like for you to try to do instead of your squat thrust. Otherwise, you can always do a tap to overhead reach. Floor tap, overhead reach. All right? So we're just going to start with that. Front plank, squat thrust, Side plank, squat thrust, other side plank, squat thrust. It'll be a 3-minute round, and then we'll transition on to our next set. All right, front plank, forearms down on the ground, ready, set, and go. Or your dead bug here. Only 30 seconds, no transition time, so we'll push into it pretty quick. Get your shoulder heads up in front of the elbow crease. Push into the elbows and pull the elbows back toward the toes. Contract into the glutes. You want to find as much shake and push here as possible. We have 3 seconds. Let's try to push into that first squat thrust. So plant onto your hands or come out of your dead bug. Squat thrust or your down dog hinge. And it's our first round, so maybe you need to take it a little slower. You can walk one leg back at a time. You don't have to jump at the top. You can always hold a squat. Okay, side plank or back to your dead bug. 1 minute in. Open the chest. Punch those hips up high. Find flexion through that low oblique. If you're in your dead bug, pay attention to the low back on the ground. Tighten that belly and come up. Squat thrust or down dog hinge or floor tap to reach. Find the work, push into it. Time, other side. If you need, you can always put your top foot bent to your Lego bend, push the foot onto the ground, and that'll help support your hips as well. Push the hips up like you have a string pulling you up. Okay, last round, squat thrust. Hold that core no matter what you're doing. Whatever variation you're taking, keep it strong. Time. Whew, okay, new set. We're going to do glute bridges, a held glute bridge. Whew. And then we're going to flip over into plank jacks. So plank jacks, high plank. It's more about speed and flexion as opposed to big hop-ins, hop-outs. Your alternate is to do a plank jack, a wall jack, support on the wall, still trying to hold that plank, or you can do a jumping jack, take it at the pace you need. I'm breathing, that's good. Okay, join me for a glute bridge. Here we go. Drive those hips up and hold. Push into the heels. Pull the heels back toward your shoulders. You'll feel more lift in the hips, more flexion through those hamstrings. Grab around those glutes. Come on. Flex in deep, hold it strong. Flip over or come up, plank jacks. Back is strong. Hollow out those armpits, elbows. Rotate back toward your toes. Hips in line with shoulders. Tailbone tucked. Core strong. Flex those quads. Flex those glutes. Time. Back to your glute bridge. Up and hold. Flex it in deep. Dig into the heels. Heels pull back towards shoulders. You're trying to find your maximum effort. These isometric intervals. Isometric means you're wrapping muscle into the bone, finding self-flexion without actually moving, pushing, pulling. Switch it over. Plank jacks. If you're on your hands in that plank, remember, push into that thumb and first finger. Find that even wrist press into the ground, even weight distribution into the palm. Push that pace. Push that pace. Don't back off. Time. Flip over. Glute bridge. One more round. Push into those heels. Heels pull back. Knees should be squeezing toward one another. Come on. Drive it deep. Flex, contract, switch. Plank jacks or your alternate. Last set. Come on, tuck it under. Grab it deep. Try to keep that pace. Time. Well done, well done. Whew. Okay, our next one. We're going to be holding hollow hold or boat. So hollow hold, push that low back into the ground, legs and arms extend, and then you hold. Whew, it's going to be tough. Or you can hit boat hold here, and then we're going to come up and hit our lateral taps. So one leg will kind of bend in. So if you're going to mirror me, it's your right leg bends in, left leg extends long. Just kind of reach toward the ground. So your body and one leg you're going to bend into kind of stays still. And it's just that one leg reaching out side to side. All right. Yeah. Hollow hold or your boat hold. It's all about the core. Go. Get that low back pushed into the ground. Tuck your chin. Flex your feet. Scoop that belly. If that arms overhead is too much, you can pull them down towards your thighs. Scoop, scoop. Remember, we want to try to drive that low back into the ground. So that may mean that you need to lift your legs a little higher. Come up. Hit your lateral taps. Stay low. Shuffle as quick as you can. Core still strong. Your back nice and long. Stick those hips. 3, 2, and 1. Back down. Push that low back onto the ground. Zipper. Flex your feet. Remember, this is our isometric grab, meaning arms flexed in, back flexed in, legs flexed. Don't just rely on your core flexion. Get everywhere you can. Come up. Taps. That bent knee lines with the toe, right? Always protecting the knee. Sink into it. 3, 2, and 1. Last round. Tuck that chin. Come on, scoop that belly. Drive that belly button toward the ground. Should burn. Bring it up. Get your lateral taps. That's it. Oh. Sit deep. Come on, push that pace. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, our last round, and then we're going to do it all again, is a Superman. Okay, Superman to touchdown. I'll show you the touchdown when I'm up. So, facing forward, take one leg, let's say your right leg, cut it behind, reach down for the ground, hop, reach down for the ground, hop. Okay, so only worry about touching the ground as long as you can keep shoulders above hips. So if you're reaching down and the butt's still up, don't worry about touching the floor. I want you to drop that booty and then drive out of that leg to get the hop. And then our Superman, a few different ways you can do it. It should not be jacking up your low back. You have to keep the core strong. So even though you're lying on your stomach, flexed in, slide shoulders back and down, up and hold. All right, we're gonna go into it. Ready, set, go. Tuck your chin, flex your feet, flex your glutes a lot. Keep finding that core. Squeeze shoulder blades together. Isometric set, right? Flex it in, flex it in. Grab through that low belly. Pinch between the shoulder blades. It's just the flexion of the glutes in the back that lifts. Come up. Touchdown. Push out of that front leg. Get your little hippity hop. So get some height, a little bit of jump, if you can, off the ground. As you're transitioning to that other foot, focus that core still holding strong. Okay, Superman. Or Superwoman. Here we go. Scan the body. Check it in. Flex, shoulders back and down. Pinching shoulder blades together. Glutes, hamstrings. 3, 2, and 1. Touchdowns. Drop those hips back and down. Where's the core? Make sure going strong. One set left here, and then we're going to go straight into our planks and squat thrusts. Superman. Core strong. Your height that you're lifting is up to you, right? If maybe you need to keep your toes on the ground, it's fine. You find your edge, your limit. Flex it in. Hold it strong. 3, 2, and 1. Touchdowns. Dropping those hips. Try to jump quick. Find those little transitions that you're cutting time down on. So next up, either dead bug or plank. To squat thrusts or your down dog hinge. Ready, set, go. Focus that core, tuck it in. Find your intensity and the heart rate burst. And then you should be still feeling that intensity as you're trying to hold that isometric flexion for the other exercise. Squat thrust. Or floor tap, overhead reach. Hang in. 5 seconds. Side plank. Or hold your dead bug. Push those hips up. Open the chest. Should feel that heart rate. Revs. Five seconds. Hit those squat thrusts. Find your pace. 30 seconds. Flexion into the core. Back. Spread those fingertips wide. Side plank, other side. Whew. Hold on to it. Flex deep. Drive those hips up. One last round of our squat thrust coming up. Here we go. After this, we're in our glute bridges and plank jacks, or your alternate. Stay strong, flex. All right, lie on your back. Doing great. Punch those hips up. Here we go. Whew. Flex into those glutes. Pinch your knees toward one another. Push into the heels. Heels pull back towards shoulders. We're going to be ready to flip it over or come up. Or you could just hold your glute bridge, depending on what you came for today, what you need out of it. Hold a 3-minute glute bridge would be fun. Reach that chest forward. Engage through the shoulder blades, through the trunk, down those obliques. And time. Back to our glute bridges. Whew. Little heart rate recovery, but no rest. Hang in there. Flex it deep. Hamstrings and glutes should be on fire, but you have to do that. Planks. Plank jacks. Tuck that tailbone. Flex through the glutes, the quads, come on. It's definitely hard for me to keep that starting pace. Time. That means I'm doing it right. All right, last set here. Push into those heels. Wrap through those thighs. Tuck it under. Feel the hip flexors open, but the core engages so you're not overarching your low back. Still sliding. Shoulder blades down, always, always. Last set here. Scan the body. Flex it in. Triceps are strong. Back is strong. Deep breaths. Let that heart rate come up. That's what we're here for. Hips should be staying still. Whew. All right. We're going to hit up our hollow hold and our lateral taps. Ready, set, go. Here for maximum core burn. So find where that is. Is it arms up or is it down? But you still have control of that low back. So hollow hold. So we're trying to hollow out the stomach. Time. Extend that one leg out, then the other. Feeling good. Sit those hips, core strong. Time, hollow hold. Takes a lot of focus, determination to get that scoop. I see it all the time. You can get real low, but then the stomach pops and protrudes. Doesn't matter. It's not what we're going for. It's range on those legs. We're going for the scoop of the belly. Have to scoop it in. I'd rather your legs straight up if that's what it takes. I remember when I learned that concept, so annoying because I did have to keep my legs straight up. And even still, I don't get them super low. But we want to train those abs flat. And that's what it takes. Scoop in. If you need to keep your head on the ground, that's fine as well. It's actually tougher to keep that scoop. Flex inner thighs. Come up. Last here. One set left after this, one round. Our Superman, Superwomen, Super People, and then touchdowns. There we go, come on. Sink deep, shuffle. Time. Okay, basically going the opposite direction we just came from. Ready, set, go. Low belly strong. Glutes, hamstrings, upper back. No neck, no low back. Grab that belly. Pinch those shoulder blades. 3, 2, and 1. Touchdowns. Make sure we're dropping those hips. How far can you get that other leg behind? 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Lower down, grab belly, and then lift. This is such a good one. You got to scan the body. Tuck that chin. Pinch the shoulder blades to lift the rib cage, but then grab that core. Get those glutes. Toes pull back towards shins. Coming up. Touchdowns. Line that front knee with the toe. Long back. Where's that core? If your low back's talking to you, it's because you need to grab your core more. Okay. Last one. Superman. Get the isometric flexion through your head and delivered to the body. Come on. Last workout of the year. Time. Keep it strong. Pull that core strong. Tuck it in. We've got it. Time. Woo! Lie on your back. Hug those knees in. Get our little stretch, and then you can have your day. Enjoy it. Reflect. Lots of positives. But I have learned the health of also addressing the negatives. I like to journal. Cross your right ankle over the left knee and go back. So sometimes within, occasionally I'll just feel like referencing, but every time I finish a journal, I kind of go back through the last few. A person still changes a lot, even after they've become an adult, whatever else. It's very fun to see. Switch to the other side and to remember some of the other frustrating times that you've been through and how you navigated it. Hopefully you've learned from mistakes that you've made. It's not always sunshine and roses. And that's actually what makes life beautiful and worth living. Each moment is richer. Notice it, enjoy it, embrace it. It is what it is. Push that low back into the ground. Open that chest. Pull those knees in. Okay, let's grab our hamstrings. So put your right foot on the ground. Straighten the left leg. You need to interlace your hands behind your thigh. That's fine. Rotate your ankle one direction and then the other. And then even see if you can wiggle your toes inside your foot and pull that leg back. Crazy side note, but when I was wiggling my toes, I thought of it. Actually, being able to manipulate your toes obviously outside of a shoe. So when you're barefoot, being able to lift that big toe, switch to the other side up and down, spreading your toes wide, rotate your ankle one way, then the other, then wiggle those toes. It's really good for the feet, which then travels up through the ankle, through your knee, hips, and low back. Everything's connected. It's crazy. All right, put both feet on the ground, the soles of the feet together, let your knees drop out. Just rest here a second. Let's take 3 deep breaths. All right, come up to seated, and then all the way to standing. Reach over those legs. Straight legs behind you, sit back on your heels. Then rock forward onto the toes, and then level off. Let the body hang forward. Depending on where you're at and your flexibility, you can always grab a weight and have that kind of, pull you forward a little bit. All right, take a deep inhale and an exhale. And then on your next inhale, come all the way up, arms reach overhead. All right, great work. Happy New Year. I will see you tomorrow.